We're here on an estate in Tayside, and this estate was particularly significant because beavers were introduced here back in 2002 as part of a demonstration project in wetland restoration to see what the benefits beavers might bring for restoring water quality and improving biodiversity on streams and agricultural land which had been heavily managed and regulated in the past. The beaver was a key candidate to bring back, partly because it had been a once abundant species in Britain, and partly because of the biodiversity benefits that we know are associated with this keystone species.
What beavers are most well known for is for dams and for felling trees. And the reason they do this is for shelter and for food. So by stabilising the water levels, by building dams, their lodge stays underwater. And they eat twigs, and the twigs are located at the tops of trees.
Here's one I've prepared earlier. Apart from large trees in the process of being felled like this, we can see really quite high density of dams on what was originally a very, very small stream. This stream behind us was only originally less than a metre wide. Now it's tens of metres wide in places. They make it a much more complex, patchy habitat, and this brings direct benefits for biodiversity, and particularly species like aquatic and wetland plants and aquatic invertebrates.
So what we are really interested in is the impact of the beavers, and we're particularly interested in the way they alter the ecosystem. So beavers are very messy, but that's fantastic for nature, fantastic for biodiversity. But by building these dams, what they act as is big filters, so that any pollutants that may be in the water course come down in the water and are filtered through the dams, and so downstream the water is much more cleaner. But these dams also act as sponges, absorbing water, particularly during floods, which slows the flow of the water and helps in flood alleviation.
Well, I think this is a kind of wonderful example of passive restoration approaches. It's kind of part of what we might think as a rewilding approach. We don't really know what the end point of reintroducing beavers at this site was going to be. There's no kind of scripted outcome, there's no targets, but over 16 years now of working at this site, it's really quite incredible the changes that beavers have brought to this landscape that we couldn't possibly have envisaged when we first started working here back in 2003.